for me as well to interact with you guys, and especially the newcomers. Like you all are probably doing your education right now, and it is a great opportunity for me to actually be part of this webinar. So I will be walking you through the investment banking domain. It's a sincere attempt to make you understand to what is investment banking, what is financial modeling, and the field of it. Like we will be talking about the various functions investment banking has, and what all types of sectors and product groups the investment banking company has, and how you can probably apply to those positions, right? So shall I move forward? Shall I start?
Yes, sir. You can proceed.
Okay. So talking about investment banking, the major functions of investment banking I have put forth in this slide. So it is basically, there are four major functions that investment banking has. It's a part of a financial institution, right? Which provides services like IPO, FPO, merger and acquisition, sales and trading, and research services, right? So the first one, IPO and FPO. So can anyone tell me what is an IPO and FPO probably?
Sir, IPO would be initial public offering. That is when a company wants to go public, means raises money from the through stocks.
Okay. And what is an FPO? I've got a reply from Supriya also. It is initial public offering. It is for the first time. And what about FPO? So basically, IPO only comes one in the lifetime of any company. So when the company wants to become private to public, they will be coming up with an IPO, which is called initial public offering. But even after that, even after an IPO, the company might want to raise more capital from stock market. For that, we call it as FPO, the follow-on public offering, right? So that is called an FPO. So investment banker, what they do is basically they help you value the company. So if you remember, if you guys can correlate with the stock market, whenever the first company, the private company gets listed, they come up with the price band. Let's say recently we had a IFRC IPO. The price range was given like 25 to 30 rupees. So that what should be the price band once they start listing themselves? What should the price band? That is what investment bankers work to come up with. They advise company at what price should you list your IPO, right? So the if I talk about investment banking role here, they will be giving you the advisory related to what should be the ideal price to list in an IPO, right? In case of FPO also, they help you understand what should be the follow-on pricing based on the current situation of that company in the stock market. So that is called underwriting service. Can someone tell me about underwriting? What is it? What exactly it is? Anyone? Okay. So in case of an,
Sir, I
yeah,
can tell.
yeah,
Sir,
please tell.
actually, I believe that underwriting is like when a company is going to public. So underwriting is for the IPO, underwriting is that they tell the prices at what price should your IPO get sell, and all the terms and conditions, like everything is set by underwriters.
See, underwriters are not exact. I won't say exactly the same, but underwriting is such a case where the company has a fear. There is a fear factor within the company. If I come up with an IPO, would someone buy it or not? they want the issue to be oversubscribed. Oversubscribed means, let's say you have issued, let's say 1 lakh of shares, right, in the market through IPO, and only 50,000 get subscribed by the investors. The rest 50,000 is not subscribed. That is a very negative situation for the company, right? So they have a fear, if they come up with the 1 lakh number of share, will they all be subscribed or not? So to mitigate that fear, they tell investment banks, that I give you all that 1 lakh shares, and it is now your responsibility to place all those 1 lakh people somewhere or in some manner. We want all our shares to be subscribed. So that is called an underwriting service. So instead of selling it to your general public, you underwrite some part of your number of share to directly to investment banks, and you take money from them, and then investment banks sell those shares to different people, maybe retail investor, not retail investor, but private investor, qualified institutional buyer, foreign institutional investors. So that is the reason why they also use something like underwriting service from the investment banks. The second one is M&A. So what is an M&A?
Sir, basically a big company buying out or merging with another company.
That's correct. So that is also something that where companies need advisory from investment banks. They cannot have the whole department sitting in their office under identifying possible investment M&As, because it will be a huge cost for them. So what they do is they give that advisory service to investment banks, and they say, let's say a company who is in India wants to have their presence in South Africa as well, right? So they can go two ways. One is that they will set up a new company in South Africa, or otherwise they can acquire a company with the same business model in South Africa and get started with the business from day one. Because establishing something and then making it big will take years and years of time. So that's the reason why M&A something is a very hot segment in investment banking. One of the most aspired field where people wants to go, and they want to understand, they want to get into an M&A profile. So that is something where investment bank comes into picture, and then they advise companies which company should they buy so that their profit surges in the future, right? The next two part is sales and trading and research services. So sales and trading would be stock market trading, you can say trading for pension funds, mutual funds, trading for companies. So they do provide sales and trading services for the corporates, not for people like us who generally go for a demat account, because this is something called a retail segment. But when it comes to corporate trading, they do provide corporate trading to the companies, and the department is called sales and trading, right? The fourth is research services. Research services is more or less an equity research, credit research. They do a lot of research to find good companies to invest, whether to invest, buy, sell, hold. So all these four functions are the most important sections of investment banking, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any question till this stage? Okay. So it is basically investment banks works as an intermediary. You need to understand this word intermediary between investors and corporates. Corporates needs money, right? Investor wants to invest money, right? So they act as an intermediary. They act as an intermediary where possibly they can find good investors, and they can ask for the money and invest in their company. So basically it acts as an intermediary between investors and corporates. They arrange money, they take money from investors and give to corporates. So that is their work, and they charge brokerage. What is their business? Yes. So what is their business model is basically getting money from investors and giving to corporates and earn a brokerage. That is their business model, right? The corporates, the investment banks serve government, corporation, and institution from time to time in different fields. So that is these are the customers, you can say, to the investment banks. Now this topic, this picture represents, it tells you how the money is being flown from one space to another space. So investment bank has the clients, they need money from investor. The same thing that I've just told you in the last line, it is the graphical representation of this. They take money from investors and give to clients and earn commissions. Investor is given the some assurance that they will get return, and clients are given assurance that they will use that money and generate profit for the company, right? So this is the cycle where investment banker acts as an intermediary in raising the capital. Now talking about the products, the type of products or services that you have in investment banking, or we can discuss about the functions where you can probably place yourself in future. If you are hired for an investment bank, you must be either working for an M&A group, you must be working probably for a equity capital market, you must be working for debt capital market, or you must be working for leverage finance, or you must be working for a restructuring group, right? So once you get hired, so these are the major products that they have in their business, and you will be getting a offer for probably one of these functions, and you will be working with the company to sell your product or services, right? Guys, I think you guys know what is M&A, what is probably restructuring. Can someone tell me what is this equity capital markets?
Sir, in the financial markets, we have different market, like we have the currency market there, that is the forex. We have the cryptocurrency, we have the commodities. Just like that, we have the equity capital market, in which the companies that we see, that in manufacturing company, FMCGs, all those are listed over the stock exchanges.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so basically it is equity capital market is inclusive of your IPOs as well as your trading. So basically it is all about the stock market, you can say, or a financial market, which includes the equity part of it. And if I talk about the stock market or the financial market for debt capital markets, it has been segregated as DCM, as you can see to the top right, right? So this is the DCM, debt capital market. So you can come across these jargons like ECM and DCM. So I think you should know these, right? So M&A you already must be knowing, I guess, because already very hot topic, and ECM and DCM is also very frequently used in this industry, right? What can be the restructuring? Anyone would like to try? What is restructuring? Any example that you can give? Okay. So basically restructuring is nothing but a situation where company is struggling to make a payment, or company struggling to book profits and make the service payment to the debt holders, making payments to the equity holders for their dividends and all, right? So they are in bad shape of their business, and they need they have huge debt levels in their balance sheet, and they are not able to service primarily the debt portion of the company, because every year company has to pay a huge amount of interest to the debt holders, right? So for that, they want a restructuring service where, since they are not able to earn revenue, they cannot pay the interest portion. So what they want is, they want to restructure their business, they want to reduce the cost. So maybe the cost centers will go off, they will discontinue with some of the business which are making losses, right? They will refinance all of their debt for a later years. So basically, investment banks also gets hired for restructuring services, where companies say that we are not able to generate enough profit to pay to our debt holders, so we need to restructure our business completely. So for that case, there might be some department which might get closed. There might be some restructuring in terms of reducing the cost to the company, like, laying off employees, or closing some departments, refinancing the business again. Let's say you have a debt which has to be paid in the next year, 2022, but you don't have money. So what you do is, you go to the investment bank, say that this is the debt that I have to pay off in 2022. So what should I do? So they will suggest you, they will advise you, investment banks will advise the company to refinance that debt for a future year, maybe for 2025 or 27, so that they don't have the urgent requirement of paying off all of their debt and interest. So that is the reason why restructuring is one of the most important department of investment banks, especially in case of recession, especially in case of economic slowdown, like we have COVID going on. So right now, restructuring is something which is also very hot segment to get into. So whenever you see an economic issues coming up, recession, depression, we had a great depression in 2009. So that time restructuring, or again, one of the hot segment. Right now, due to COVID as well, we have the maximum number of deals getting closed under restructuring segment. Most of the company are refinancing their debt for a longer period. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Then by industry also, you can segment your investment banking. Some companies, what they do is, they have sector wise employees and sector wise experts. So if you do not want to get into product wise, you can get into sector wise. Maybe if you get hired, you might be working for financial institution group, you might be working for media and telecom, you might be working for financial sponsors group. So sector wise also, there are many companies like Credit Suisse, we have Morgan Stanley, we have Goldman Sachs. They all are sector experts, right? So they do have their sectoral team, and then basis that they hire people, and basis the interview performance and everything, they put that person into a specific sector, and over a period of time, you become an expert into that specific domain. Any question, guys? Anything you want to ask the functions of investment banking, about the functions of investment banking?
So I wanted to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Why do we see so much of IPOs coming at this point of time? Sir, in the past, I think so 3 to 4 months, we have seen a lot of IPOs coming into the market, and many companies are going for issuing IPOs and raising funds from the public. So why is it that at this point of time only we are seeing that much of a IPO issue in the market?
So basically, there are many two to three reasons primarily. First is that there were many IPOs that were set for in 2020, when we did not have the COVID thing coming in. So all those IPOs got shifted to the next year, like 2021 and two, maybe, right? That is one of the reason why all the delay happened, because there were many, expectation from the corporate that they will raise money in 2020, but it did not happen because of COVID. That is one. Secondly, if you remember, the market crashed in 2020 between December till March or April. So in those last 4 months, there were a lot of market was actually going down a lot, and it went at least 30% down at that time, March and April, right? And this is the time where we have all the vaccines and everything coming up, and economy is has an expectation that right now we can bounce back in 2021 and probably in 2022, and companies are taking advantage of that situation. This is a timing thing that they want to actually tap. And now Nifty being, Nifty and Sensex have increased a lot, and I think Sensex is somewhere around 52,000. So they are actually taking advantage of the situation. One is the COVID thing that happened in 2020, and the shift, all the IPOs got shifted in for the later stage. That is one. Secondly, the market crashed in 2020 a lot, around 30%, and since for the last 3 to 4 or 6 months, the market have increased a lot, and they want to take advantage of that bull market.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. So in fact, not in India, let me tell you, for for European region like Denmark, Finland, they have come up with a record breaking IPOs. If you see the Nordic region in currently in 2020 and after September, they come up with lot many IPOs, just because of that, because they believe that market is going to get upwards in the next 6 to 8 months and probably for a year. And second, and one more thing, that people actually need money at this time. So there are many big corporation which are coming up with their subsidiary IPOs as well. So in 2021 and 2, you can expect many IPOs coming in Indian market as well as overseas.
Yes, sir. I have
Right.
actually gone through some predictions that they predict that we might see more
Yeah. Mhm.
IPOs in the near future. So that's why it was actually I was asking because we have Sensex going around 51,000 at this point of time, and markets have rebounded, and we have progressed from a stage of recession recently. So it is at a greater stage that our economy is progressing, and it is a good thing for our economy.
Yes, that's correct. So that is the reason why it is happening a lot, and the timing is good. That's the reason why more and more people are coming in, more and more companies are coming up with an IPO. All they need is money from the investors, and right now is in a situation to give money because of the surge in stock markets. Sometimes things go opposite way as well, but till so far things have been good in stock market for the last 6 to 8 months. So that's the reason why, that due to timing difference, lot more IPOs are coming in. Now we'll move to the next slide. Now I will directly talk about uh, the most important section of the webinar. Till now we have discussed about the what is investment banking, the functions, right? The product and industry wise understanding, so that you have some understanding of what exactly investment banking do, and what is it all about, and what type of profiles or the industry you can get into. Right now I will tell you about the quick facts which you should know for investment banking. See, investment banking is a domain where the entry to a graduate or a postgraduate is very difficult, right? Case to case basis, the applications are very high, and the job opportunities are very limited. So you can expect at times it goes like for a single position they get 50 application, right? Or let me put it other way around, for each 100 application, only 2 to 3 people get selected for investment banking. So this is the ratio that you see from time to time going up and down. uh, because the job position are very less and the application is very high. So that's the reason why it is called, it is very difficult to get into an investment bank directly, right? Because of limited job position and too many of applications being received by major investment banks. So has anyone applied for any investment bank in the past, for a global investment bank, you guys? Any from your batch? Anyone? Okay.
Not right now, sir.
Okay. The good thing about investment banking is basically is it is highly rewarding job profession. That's the reason why most of the candidates who are fresh graduates, they want to get into investment banks and make their career at the top, because investment banking is the one of the high hottest sector within finance. And if you are an MBA, BCom, CA, CFA, or even if you are not from finance background, you can apply for investment banking. So that's the, because of each and every stream is, you know, wants to get into investment bank. That is also one of the reason why it is very difficult to crack, because the applications are very high. So we will talk about higher rewarding bonus, base pay and bonus in the next session, right? So this is one of the reason why most and more people want to get into investment bank. Fourth one is challenging working environment. If you think that you want a job of 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, then you should leave thinking about investment banking, because the work environment is very challenging. Sometimes you will be working up to 14 to 16 hours a day, right? And yes, but there might be some cases, in some days you will be free from morning till evening, you will not be doing anything, because of the deals are not going through, the IPOs are not there, right? So it is a timing difference. Sometimes you don't have work, so the timing is not there, the IPOs are not coming in, the M&As are not happening, the restructuring is not getting done. So that's the reason why sometimes you have a free time in office for a week or 15 days, and once you get in work, it is like crazy, it is like 14 to 16 hours, or maybe sometimes 18 hours a day, right? So it is not for someone who wants a very peaceful life, 10 to 7 type of job, or maybe, you know, getting more time for family and all. You have to be prepared for such situation. So it will be very challenging, stressful, and it will involve long working hours. Next is you should be in a situation to be, and you should be able to work in a team based environment, right? You have to make everyone's happy, you have to respect each and everyone's decision, otherwise there might be issues. So it should not be a single person role, it would be a team based role, where you should be very well connected with the team. You will find sometimes that your office has become your family, and your family is something that they see you for only 1 or 2 hours in a day, and then, you know, uh, they have to wait for the next day to see you. It is basically it happens uh, such a case that you will be spending most of your time in office and not at your home, right? No one will be there to guide you. Initially you will be given some training for investment banks, and you will be basically introducing yourself with the team, but there will be not much of a supervision that you will get in investment bank. You have to figure out things on your own. They will definitely train you, but there will be no hand holding. There will be no hand holding in your real life if you get into IB, right? At the same time, you should have a multitask personality. You should be able to multitask things. You should be able to get the work done from others as well. You should be very good with communication. You should be very good with convincing people get their work done, as well as make others happy. So multitasking is something that you will be doing from day to day, right? You should have a very strong communication, as I told you. You should have a very good networking skills in investment bank. Uh, can someone tell me more about what is a networking skill? How can it help?
So that would be making contact with the relevant people in the relevant means your field or in the industry.
In terms of what, like getting the business or something else? Like, I mean, what exactly it is? It is for the getting a relevant job or for a relevant business?
Sir, I guess both means you need to get the business for the company as well as look for opportunities or people who can provide you with good opportunities in the coming years or time.
Yes. So basically, my objective of putting networking skills is here is basically you should be very good with networking skill in a way that you get business for investment banks. If you are connected to the CXO level people or during the next 5 to 10 years, if I talk about long period of, if you serve for a longer period at an investment bank, you should have very good networking skills with people. If you have a good networking skills with corporates and you keep on having adding people, meeting people a lot, so that will help you flourish your career as well, because it is the corporate who will give you businesses for investment bank, and you will be advising them. And if you have made a very good technicals and along with super strong communication, you can do that and you can flourish the business, because uh, investment banks do give a lot of bonuses. It is sometimes the base pay, whatever you get as a base pay, the same amount or the more amount you get in bonus. So suppose you have got 50 lakhs as a base pay, you will getting same amount of bonus as well. So getting that thing done will come from networking, because you will be giving lot and lot more business to your company, and they will be rewarding you at the end of the year. Last skill is research and quantitative and analytical skills. This being the most important, analytical skills. You should be able to analyze things as quick as possible, or you can say you should have a very analytical skills. Let's say if I ask you a random question, let's say that how many burgers get sold in McDonald's in Delhi NCR, right? So how will you think about it? So that is called analytical skills. Obviously no one can answer the exact number, but at least you can start off with something which seems logical to the interviewer, which seems convincing, right? How will you arrive to a number if someone asks you how many burgers are being sold in a single day at McDonald's Delhi NCR region, right? Something like these reasoning questions they will ask you during an interview, right? And you have to come up with a logical answer. You do not need to be correct, because no one can be correct, but at least the drivers, how will you drive that question to at the end of the answer, that matters the most, right? Everyone, any questions till this stage? Okay. Again, I have put down a separate sheet for especially for analyticals, for the skills that you should have, or if you don't have, you should start building those skill sets. The most important thing is analytical skills. We have already talked about it. How do you think? It is all about how do you think, how do you come up, and how you solve problems, day to day problems. Or maybe you can say, how do you come up with the business driver of a company? So that is something called analytical skills that you have to build over a period of time. The second most important thing is financial modeling. You should be very good at making an operating model, which is also called a three statement models. You should be very good with understanding and creating DCF models, and you should be very good with creating M&A models as well. So these are some of the major uh, type of models that you should be very good at. The third skill is presentation skills, right? So presentation skills are very important. In fact, equally important to financial modeling. If you are very good at technicals, but if you are not good at presenting that data to your client, then all the effort will go into waste. So you should be very good with creating pitch books, and you should have a great presentation skills, how you can present your idea to the people. So these skills will also help you raising money probably for your startups also, because more or less the pitch books are the same. The one that you pitch to a big corporation for M&A and IPO, the same type of pitch book you will be using probably if you are planning for a startup down the 3 to 5 years down the line. So you should have that skill. If you have that skill, you can either start your own startup as well as you can get into an investment bank. The next is sales skills. And the last one is negotiation. So can someone tell me what kind of skills do you need? Anyone?
Pitching our product to satisfy a customer to buy my product.
Okay. So what type of product do you have in investment banks?
Financial assets.
So basically you have things like, as I told you, you have products like M&A advisory, right? You have products like IPO. You have products like, you know, uh, mutual funds, not mutual fund exactly, but like something like companies clients portfolio, right? So you need to be very good with your sales skills. In the sense, let me tell you, it is not about only about analytical skills and the technical skills. You should be very good with your sales skills. In fact, I would say that investment banking profiles or investment banking jobs requires equal amount of sales skills along with the analytical bent of mind. You cannot think of this profile only as a desk work. It will be more of a client role after 3 to 4 years. Initially 2 3 years you will be doing a lot of business modeling, financial modeling, presentations, creation, doing a lot of research work. But after 3 to 4 years, once you are done with this part, this will get over. And then sales and negotiation is something that you will be doing all the time after 5 to 7 years. So this is something that you should be very good at. Maybe you may not be good at this point of time, but in future you will need those skill sets 5 years or 7 years down the line. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, the eligibility criteria. So since we have discussed about what kind of role that you can get into, what type of things that you will face, like long working hours, challenging environment, like, right, it will be a fast paced environment and all that stuff. What all skills that you need to become an investment banker? These are the skills. Currently, if I talk about being a graduate, you are a graduate and postgraduate people, so you can focus on these three skill sets: analytical skills, financial modeling, and presentation skills. These are the skills that you should get trained on and be expert at. And after that, after 5 years, you can focus on this portion, and this will get over. The initial three things will get over. Now, talking about the eligibility. So people from all the background, be it MBA, CFA, chartered accountants, even graduates and engineers also applies to investment bank. And there are people with other streams, be it economics honors, be it statistics, be it, be it normal arts degree. So you can all of the people are eligible to apply for an investment bank, right? I have seen people in arts or Sanskrit honors applying to investment bank, and they got placed as well, because what they are looking for is the analytical bent of mind. That is the most important part. If you can solve question on reasonings faster, the chances of getting into investment bank will be very high. Even if you are a little bit short of financial modeling skills or pitch book presentation, they can still consider you as a person who can get into investment bank, right? So looking at this eligibility, I think you all are eligible to apply for an investment bank, right, everyone? So I think you all are either MBA and graduates, right?
Yes, sir. Most of us are graduates only.
Okay. Graduate means mostly BBA or BCom, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at this stage also you can start applying to various investment banks. So in the next slide, I will tell you how and where you can approach investment banks or research firms in getting yourself hired, right? So this eligibility criteria you already cleared because you all are graduates. So minimum graduate can apply, right? As you can see in this eligibility page, right? How you can plan your uh, you know how can you plan your way to reach to get into an investment bank? The first is complete your education. So means you have to complete either BCom and MBA or eligibility criteria. As per eligibility criteria, you can complete your graduation, look for an either an MBA or a CFA or a chartered accountancy course or a some master degree level you should think of, right? Even if you are right now not thinking, that is completely fine. Maybe in future, if not right now, you can think of it for a future as well. It is not important to get a degree first, like MBA, and then apply for it, right? So completing your graduation, like MBA, grad, and other stuff, right? The second step is get the necessary trainings done, right? So I don't know how many of you are sure of creating a financial model, right? How many of you are sure of creating pitch books, right? So these are the type of trainings that you can complete, and you have to be on top of it. You should be very good with your finance concepts to start with your interview process. So before you get for any interview or you get into any internship, try to cover up and brush up all your skills related to financial modeling and pitch book, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, what
Yeah.
among Excel and PitchBook is in demand nowadays?
Sorry, can you come again?
So, what between Excel and PitchBook is in demand in the market nowadays?
See, basically, right now, if I talk about research firms or investment banks, mostly they are looking for MS Excel understanding. You should have a good understanding of MS Excel. You should have good understanding of building a operating model, at least, like integrating income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, and doing projection. This is the minimum that you're looking for, right? And apart from that, if you can learn DCF, if you can learn pitch book, creating presentation for different companies, so all this stuff is very much required, and your interviews will be around these things only,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
right? The next is the most important thing that right now you can do, since you have told me that you guys are graduate. The most important thing that you can do right now is to apply for an internship. Internship is a place where if you get an internship into any investment bank or boutiques, and even if you don't get to an investment bank, if you can get an internship in a research house like a KPO, like Evalues or Moody's and all those companies, that will also be a very good thing for you, and you can use that internship to show your candidature that you are worth getting a job into investment banks. So all the, if I talk about foreign countries like US, USA, UK, and EMEA region, they always after doing graduation apply for an internship, so that they want to check whether they can survive into that area or not. Secondly, they will be seen as a serious candidate who have done their internship from somewhere, especially into finance profile. So considering your case, this is the most important suggestion that I would like to give you. During your graduation, after your graduation, doesn't matter, you can start applying as much as possible.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please tell like what internships are we supposed to do in the finance field?
Yes, I will come to that. I will in fact give you the company names as well, right? Where you can possibly apply. You can get in. You should try to get an investment banking internship or equity research internship or a internship where some sort of financial modeling skills are required or some sort of financial analysis skills are required, right? So I will tell you some of the company where you can start applying, you guys, right? And I think definitely if you make a sincere attempt, then you can get the results as well. The
Sir,
second one, yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, sir. Actually, if we are not get internship in some global bank or some big corporate house, so
Mhm.
we can start in some startup or
See, basically, even if you don't get a job or sorry, the internship at a global investment bank, you can at least try to boutique investment banks. There are many in Delhi NCR as well. And apart from that, you can try getting an internship or a initial level job into research houses as well. But because I do understand that getting a job directly at a global investment bank or even the internship may not be too easy, right? So you should not only stick to global investment banks. Let me tell you guys. So I will be giving you different types of company names in this presentation only, which you can refer, right? So
Sir,
yeah.
uh, sir, I like it's not related to this like
Hmm.
topic. I
Okay.
wanted to like what should be the real motive of any individual who is aspiring or like who is thinking of going in this field of finance? Like what should be the motive? Because sir, if money is the motive, I don't feel that that forces anyone to be in any industry. So
Mhm.
apart from money, or is like what should be the real motive for being in this industry of this finance investment banking and all?
See, I cannot tell you about the motive probably, but I can tell you about if you are something of that sort, if you have these characteristics, then maybe investment banking can be a good option for you. Because motive is something that no one can help you with, but definitely with your characteristics, your day to day activity, or you can say your probably primarily your characteristics decides whether you want to get into an investment bank or not. So we have discussed some part of it in this skill sets. If you think that you are okay with long working hours, if you think that you are able to multitask, if you think that you do have an entrepreneurial skills, right? All in all, single word, if you think that you have an entrepreneurial skills, then possibly that investment banking might be a right thing for you. I would tell you many reasons why. The entrepreneur, after like getting some experience, an entrepreneur gets into a technicalities of business also, as well as the sales skills that they need communication skills, they need networking skills, right? They need they need to know everything about the business from top to bottom, the whole cycle that they need to understand. So if you have something like that personality, so definitely you should get into or a opt for, or that should be the motive that you should get into an investment bank. And after spending 4 to 5 years, if you think you want to start your own business, then maybe starting with an IB profile can be a very good option, because you will get the whole round understanding of how the business works, how you can possibly pitch your peers. The most important thing, if you have heard of that, there are many startups that have come up in the last 5 to 7 years, right? And all they need is they want to pitch to relevant investors to get the funding, right? That is something that is also very hot. So if I just come to this sales skills and negotiation skills, right? If I come back to this slide, sales skills and negotiation skills, right? If you are able to create a presentation but you are not able to pass on your message to the investors, it will not be of any use. So if you think that you want to get into some startup or you want to pitch your idea for future, then that should also be a motive for you to get into an investment bank. If you do not like a normal life, like spending only maybe 10 to 5 in an office, and you just want to get money out of it, of a job, then investment banking is not a right thing for you. If you want to be in a fast paced environment, if you want to do multiple things in future after 5-10 years, if you want to start your own business, if you want to have a full understanding of how business works, then that should be the motive for you to get into an investment bank, right?
Sir, actually, I have been talking to many people. So
Uh-huh.
they say that we prefer people or the graduates who have done CA. So can you please tell me like why is it happening? Like what if I do CA and then do this then I go for investment banking?
So who told you that you want to be a you want to complete a CA to become a investment bank? Like any company have told you, or some your peer network,
No,
or
no, sir. No, no, sir. Not a company. As in, actually, just they just said that. Huh, sir, they just said that they prefer doing and they prefer going for a person who has done a CA. I don't know for what reason. So I was just referring.
no,
I
no.
was just
So
asking you.
see, there are many companies or probably some set of financial institution who might prefer having a CA, but this is not true that all the investment banking jobs or major of the investment banking job requires CA. The most important, the most favorite job, sorry, the skill set or the degree that you are looking for is an MBA in future. Even if you start with a graduate role, right? You spend 3 to 5 years. After graduation, you do your investment banking work for 3 to 5 years. Then after, you might require an MBA to supplement your profile and get into the highest level of the profile, highest level of profile into IB. So MBA is something that is the most important thing. I won't say things like CA can be something that you should look forward to get into an MBA, get into some IB role. But having said that, there are many companies who require CA as well, and these are majorly your big fours, because big fours works in India. If I talk about big four, most of the big four, they look for chartered accountants, they give them advisory roles, they spend 5 to 10 years, and then they put them into a consulting role. That role may not be a investment banking role completely, but it will be a consultant role where you will be advising people for various situation like M&A, restructuring. IPO के केस में नहीं होगा, but for other profiles in big four also, you do get relevant job profiles in big four, especially for consulting side, like how you should restructure your business, how you should come up, whether you should buy a company, whether you should do an M&A or not. So all these things big four also does, and for big fours, they prefer CA over MBA. That is true, right? Right. I think Utsav asked me this question. Utsav, did you get the answer?
So I think there
He's
might
not.
be a network issue.
Okay. I think I got a message from him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Fine. So your situation is to apply for an internship. The second thing that you can do probably is analyst programs. So if you are interested into a full-time job, and for some reason if your internship application gets rejected, you can always ask or try for analyst program. All the major investment banks, the major big bulge bracket investment banks, they do have analyst program in their website. You name it any investment bank, global investment bank, and it is 100% sure that a simple graduate can apply to analyst program, and you will get that in the career option of all the possible global investment bank. You have to fill that form, you have to put your CV, you have to give them a very important story of why do you want to get into investment bank, and if your profile is interesting to them, they seem that it seems that they are interested in your profile, they will definitely call you for an interview. And that is something that is the best thing that can happen to you, because without analyst program, it is very difficult to get into a global investment bank. If I talk about, be it Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, Barclays Capital, Bank of America, all these companies. So you should look out for analyst program in their website career section, and you will find this analyst program. A simple graduate can apply. Right, everyone?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir, has financial modeling to do something with the equity markets, or it is just, looking at the balance sheets and the all the three statements of a company and then forming a financial model?
See, basically, financial modeling is something that is a tool that you should learn, whether you want to get into an equity profile or a credit research profile or an investment banking profile or any type of finance profile. If you want to analyze something, you have to have a financial modeling understanding. So for equity research, you ask, yes, you need to have a very good understanding of financial modeling, DCF valuation, financial analysis, all these things.
Sir, what is the role of data science like in future in in the field of investment banking? Like,
See,
has it something to
mhm.
do with the finance?
See, it has to do with the finance thing, but especially if I talk about equity research, financial analysis, investment banking, and all, or financial modeling or credit analysis, I don't think so. It is going to change too much things in these industry because of data science, because data science is not actually successfully have been applied till now in these industries. Data science is applied onto transaction based industry like telecom industry, fintech industry, right? So these are the places, or maybe e-commerce industry. So these industry have requires a lot of data science experience, but the discussion that we are having right now, probably you do not need data science understanding a lot of it in the near future. It's always good to have some understanding, but right now you do not need to have an expert into data science.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Right. The third next one is, so this is something that you should all apply, either internship or analyst program, to all the global investment bank. Next is build your network. Network means the moment you have decided that you want to get into investment bank, start adding people in LinkedIn, start sending, asking for referral for getting into investment banks. So apart from this effort of analyst program and internship, you should also look into doing a lot of networking within your peer set, or in LinkedIn and other places. So this is something also that may fetch you a internship or a full-time job as well. Right. Next is prepare for CFA program. This is, I won't say it is a mandatory thing. Let me tell you, I have put in this thing because even if you don't go for a CFA level 1 preparation or an exam, at least study the material. Otherwise, if you can afford to, it is definitely a very good step if you can do that. Putting it in other words, if you want to get into a CFA preparation and you want to achieve a designation, it is definitely a plus point, right? Because now all the financial analyst roles says that if someone is a CFA, it is a plus thing. It will be considered positive. So on that front, yes, CFA will definitely give you options to get into analyst role, where analyst role is one of the most important entry point as I've told you, right? So with that thought, I wanted to tell you that if you want to get into an analyst role, right, the one this I have mentioned here, CFA can help you a lot. It will be like an helping thing for you to get into it, right? So with that all that stuff and all that effort that if you put in for the next 6 to 8 months, definitely I am sure that some of you will be definitely able to get into investment bank, those who are interested in this field. So these are the steps that you can take. Yes.
So, sir, what is the role of a financial analyst in a like? Is financial analyst is a part of an investment banker,
See,
or
basically,
is it a something
yeah.
different?
So financial modeling, financial analysis, all are almost interchangeable. You call it a financial modeling role or you call it a financial analyst role, more or less. It is just a name difference. That's it. So if you get a job as a financial analyst, definitely it will help you. If you get a job as business analyst, that will also help you. So you get into business analyst mode, financial analyst mode, financial modeling, equity research, credit research, investment banking, research analyst. So all these names are interlinked. If you get into any of these roles, so definitely the chances of applying for investment bank or getting a job into a relevant field will be easy for you. So financial analyst is also a relevant title.
Also, sir, like for example, sir, like when I like interact with people of who are doing data science, so
Mhm.
so like they say that it's all about visualizing and interpreting the data.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
so sir, when it comes to finance, so we
Mhm.
have a lot of data in our hand.
Mhm.
So sir, uh, analyzing and predicting the data is is a core aspect of finance. So how come data science is not used here?
Okay, yeah, it's a good question actually. Let me answer you this question. So basically, see, there are two type of things in the market. There is a major one difference. When you are into a financial analyst role or in a finance role, what do you generally analyze, Utsav? What is the most important thing that you analyze?
So data, sir.
डेटा किस टाइप का डेटा होता है वो, मतलब कहाँ से आता है, फ्रॉम वेयर यू गेट दैट डेटा?
सर बैलेंस शीट से आता है
Balance sheet,
जैसे
income, yeah. So
हाँ जी
majorly you analyze financial statement, that is the most important part of it. Secondly, you probably analyze stock market, right? Let's not talk about stock market for a time being, but let's stick to financial statements or annual report, right? These are the financial numbers, right? And uh, the data science people look for something else. Their data is, do you know what type of data they analyze in data science? Majorly, I would say, if someone can tell me.
sir they yes sir I guess I can tell it
Yeah.
I believe sir there is a lot of data in data science. It's not just a finite number. So there is a
Exactly.
whole lot of bunch of numbers, sir. When it like when I see people going for data science, like I see their Excel sheet, sir. So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
long data, sir. It's a very
yeah,
long data.
yeah. So the type of data that they analyze, let me tell you, one is that they analyze people's behavior, not the financial statements. That's the reason why I told you फाइनेंस में डेटा साइंस का रोल मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा नहीं है लेकिन उतना नहीं है. B2C रोल्स में ज्यादा होता है. B2C रोल्स मीन्स बिजनेस टू कस्टमर. So let's say you are using a credit card. For the last 1 year, you have used credit card, you have swiped your credit card multiple places, right? So the point is they want to use this type of data that a यूजर का बिहेवियर जानने के लिए वो डेटा यूज करना चाहते हैं कि वेयर ऑल प्लेसेस अ पर्सन विद द एज ग्रुप ऑफ 20 to 30, where all they are using their credit cards, so that they can make some behavioral understanding of people's pulse, understanding that where they are using credit card data. So the credit card swipe, each and every swipe turns into a data that you have made a purchase of 1,000 rupees and this is the statement has been debited and all that stuff. They get their data. The credit card company gets the data, like American Express gets a lot of data because of their credit card swiping and all. And yet they use this data to analyze what type of offering that they can give you guys and they can increase their business. They can create loyalty programs, they can create offers that, let's say, if you swipe 4 times in a month, your annual charges would be free. And let me tell you a very interesting offering that American Express generally gives to people, that you have to swipe your credit card only 4 times in a month, and the minimum swipe would be 1,000 rupees, right? So इस ऑफरिंग में अमेरिकन एक्सप्रेस को क्या हेल्प होगी? बिकॉज इस ऑफरिंग के बेसिस पे अगर आप ऐसा करते हो तो आपकी एनुअल फीस आपकी रिमूव हो जाएगी. Let me just tell you again. So they have, American Express has a offering that if you swipe your card 4 times in a month, and each swipe is of 1,000 rupees or more, and if you do it for the next 12 months, your annual fees will not be there. It will be removed.
So customer engagements बढ़ेंगी.
Exactly. Customer engagement से ज्यादा उसको वो हैबिट डालना चाहते हैं कि every time you come up with some bill, you will try using your American Express credit card, and if you use it 48 times in a month, you will have that in your blood, that now for every purchase you will have habit, you will not think, and you probably, they have an expectation that you will keep on using the credit card, because if they have made you swipe for 48 times in a year, right, it will be a part of your important document all the time. You will keep it in your purse all the time. You do not know कि आप कब 1,000 रुपए से ऊपर का परचेस करने वाले हो. And they give you many offers apart from this. They will be uh, reducing your annual fees. They will be giving you many redemption points. They will be giving you dine-in offers and all, if you just follow this single thing that they ask for. And ये सब कहाँ से उनको पता चलता है? डेटा साइंस से. They have millions and millions such type of transaction they have analyzed, that they have come up with this product, and they are selling it in this market. तो इस केसेस में डेटा साइंस यूज ज्यादा होता है. जहां पे ट्रांजैक्शनल केसेस होते हैं, जैसे लाइक पेटीएम है, पेटीएम इज आल्सो ट्रांजैक्शन बेस्ड थिंग. You use Amazon also create offers in a way that it attracts people. So when it comes to a day-to-day transaction or a business to consumer relationship, data science is used mostly on that front. But once you are analyzing only 100 to 50 or 200 data points like financial statements, एक 3 मॉडल फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में मैक्सिमम 1,000 नंबर होंगे, इससे ज्यादा नहीं होंगे. So for that you do not need a data science, right?
Got it, sir, got it.
सो जहां पे ज्यादा डेटा ज्यादा होगा वहां पे आप डेटा साइंस यूज करोगे. पाइथन तब आप चलाओगे जब आपके पास मिलियंस ऑफ डेटा होगा. आपके पास 1,000-2,000 डेटा पॉइंट्स होगा. यू डू नॉट नीड पाइथन, यू डू नॉट नीड डेटा साइंस. एक्सेल इज मोर देन एनफ. इसीलिए आप हमेशा अपनी लाइफ में देखोगे पूरी दुनिया डेटा साइंस में पाइथन वगैरह सब कुछ यूज कर रही है. फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल सिर्फ एमएस एक्सेल के पीछे ही पड़ा रहता है, इसके अलावा वो कभी कुछ यूज ही नहीं करता. That you will be using in your life only 2 things: MS Excel and MS PowerPoint. That's it.
Also, sir, like right now, like you just said that let's not talk about the stock markets and investment banking.
Yeah, stock market, I would say yes. If you want to get into something like algorithmic trading and stock trading, probably people like us are not a good fit to get into Wall Street trading. Wall Street trading may you do a lot of JavaScript coding, you do a lot of C++ usage, Python usage is a lot. वहां पे भी डेटा साइंस तो यूज नहीं होता है, बट there is a chance, there is a situation where you might start using data science for future for stock market. Because stock market may, if you see, again it comes to a retail investor. If you see, there are millions of transaction happens every day. People are buying shares, people are selling shares. So that is the reason why the data is very huge, and where this is the place where probably you will be using data science in some manner. But right now it is not happening. Right now it is more on JavaScript, and it is more on risk management side. It is more on algorithmic trading. So they haven't introduced something like data science. too much.
Sir, all the financial analysts and all the people who are doing financial modeling, so
Mhm.
and also the people who are doing equity research, are they very active on the stock market, sir?
Not importantly, not it's not
Mm,
mandatory to have that
yeah,
thing.
it's not necessary, I believe.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, sir. Okay.
If you are, it's a plus thing. Let me tell you, if you follow market, it is always good because once you get into some discussion mode with your seniors or your employees or for your clients, if you have a good understanding of stock market, it will be a good thing for you, and you will flourish with that information if you know. And they do not expect you to understand each and every stock. If you know handful of 10-15 stocks where you have some understanding, you can talk about it, then definitely it will be a plus thing. And the best way to do is open a demat account, start investing, even if it is like 100 rupees a day or 500 rupees a day, and you will get a pulse of stock market. At least some understanding you will have.
Right, sir. Right. Okay, sir.
Right now, I will show you the rewards that you can get if you get into investment banks. This slide is more on the eligibility and the compensation of the rewards that you can get into foreign countries like USA and UK versus India. So if you are an analyst, if you are a graduate or an MBA, you can apply for analyst position. As I told you, you are eligible. The base pay in US is very high. As you can see, 190,000. It means it is like somewhere around 70 lakhs or 80 lakhs a year. If I talk about India, the salary range is not the same. Let me tell you, it is an eye opener because investment banking in is India is at a nascent stage, or you can say intermediate level stage. In USA, it is very like the investment banking requirement is very much. So the business size is lesser in India than in US. US has lot many investment banks, and they actually the corporates use them a lot. India में उतना use नहीं होता अभी, but that's probably one of the reason why the base pay is not as good as or maybe equivalent to USA. So you can expect anything between 6 to 11 lakhs depending upon how your interview went and what type of opening or what type of opportunities you are being interviewed for, right?
Sir,
Associate.
like
Yeah.
because this COVID came in 2020. So, sir, what is the role of financial risk managers now? Because I guess risk management has gotten a hype now.
See, basically, risk management is a separate topic. I think we can maybe probably discuss it.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you are
sir.
audible.
Yes.
You're audible.
Okay. Yeah, so risk management we'll discuss later on because risk management is not part of this discussion. It is completely a new, different world, right? So if you want to get into an associate level, you need to have either an MBA or a master degree or a CFA. MBA being the best one to achieve. Uh, with 5+ years of experience, you can get into associate level position. The salary would be somewhere around $2,000, $200,000 means around 1 lakh, 1 crore 40 lakhs in USA, right? So in India, it is not the case again. uh, it is like 11 to 20 lakhs you can expect after 5 years. India में अगर आप अभी try करते हो post BCom and MBA, this is what you can expect. But you have to be an MBA in this case for an associate level because यहाँ पे मैंने graduate नहीं रखा है, right? So you need to be in MBA at least, or a master degree or a CFA, that would also be fine. VP, if you want to become a VP, 10+ years of experience, MBA plus CFA, the salary range would be 300,000 in USA, means 2 crores 10 lakhs, right? And 20 to 35 in India. And MD will take at least you become 50, get into 50s of your life, then you can think about it. So this is the normal expectation, current expectation that people can have, and this is what is being offered. Obviously, this is to some extent subjective, depending upon your performance, depending upon market situation, depending upon पोस्ट कोविड इफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं इसमें थोड़े बहुत, एंड होंगे भी, इंडिया में तो हैं। 6 and 11 लाख से आप थोड़ा सा कम ही एक्सपेक्ट करोगे आज के टाइम में, मे बी अप टू 5 to 7 और समथिंग, राइट? सो दिस इज द type of expectation in terms of salary you can expect, or your eligibility accordingly that you need to have. Any question on this?
Sir, Utsav has wrote a question in the chat box talking about your views about risk managers.
Yeah, so Shreya, that's what I wanted to say, that risk management is a completely different world, right? It is not related to financial analyst modeling, investment banking much, let me tell you. So risk management is basically more of a quantitative side of finance, where you need to be probably an engineer or something, right? And then you need to have degrees like post your engineering, you need to have some technical degree like MTech or something. And even if you are an engineer, then also you can become a risk manager. So it is a separate discussion. Maybe we can have a separate discussion on it in a different webinar, because it will take time for me to make you understand on risk management.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Right?
Sir, I have
Yeah.
one question.
Mhm.
Sir, to be an investment banker, so can we start a career from equity research analyst from
Yes,
a
you
small
can.
broking house? Or
You can start, but you need to be equally active even after you get into an analyst profile into a broking house, right? You can use that experience to showcase that you want to get into IB, but don't get a situation where you get into an analyst role, now it's everything is fine, things will automatically happen, because it is not a exact role that you are thinking of, because broking house has a different type of products and investment banking has a different type of product, but the starting can be done from broking houses as well.
and sir, as you said, the base pay in USA is very high for investment bankers. So, uh, are the vacancies for only experienced person, or uh, some
See, for
freshers? And
for
what are the skills required?
See, basically, for if you want to get into an IB in USA and out of India, then you need to be most probably an MBA, right? MBA from particular geography. If you want to become a investment banking in USA, you have to do your MBA from USA only. So, because the weightage will be very high if you do it from USA. Secondly, if I talk about analyst program, where I have written graduates, for USA, they do not recruit Indian graduates. Mostly they don't. They need a BS degree or a BA degree from US universities, not from India. इन इंडिया में सिर्फ आपको ग्रेजुएट्स की पोजीशन टॉप ग्रेजुएट इंस्टीट्यूट इंडिया में दे सकते हैं, थिंग्स universities like SRCC and Stephens. They do have a placement tie-ups with Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and sometimes they do come up, they give some job offers. These are the only A-lister schools where you can get a graduate job. Otherwise, agar aapko, obviously you are outside of it, so then you can plan your MBA for in USA, and then definitely you can try for an analyst or associate position from USA for sure.
Sir, what if someone is pursuing MBA from DTU itself, so
So
they
in
have
that
no
case,
chances?
in that case, you should start trying for Indian investment banks, which I will show you in the next slide. Getting into a US based global investment bank may be difficult. The only thing that you are left with is you can still try for an analyst program here through their website, because I'm sure that they will not be visiting campuses apart from IMs and SRCC and Stephens. So campus placement, I don't think so that will happen. But you can always, being an MBA, either go for a US based MBA or keep on applying to analyst program. If you get through, you can, take an interview and show your worth. Why do you want to become an IB analyst?
Okay, sir.
Right, everyone? Any question on this? Okay. These are the top investment banks that you can see in this screen. These are bulge bracket banks, right? So bulge bracket means they have huge offices, they have too many deals day to day. They are basically considered as one of the biggest institution in the world of finance where you can get into. So the biggest ones are JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, Barclays, Merrill Lynch, Deutsche, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Citigroup, and RBC. And there are many. It is just an indicative list that I've shown you. These are the companies, these are the banks or financial institution where if you get into it, you can expect something like this. The base pay that I've shown you, right? If you get into this. There are global boutiques also, which you can try. Again, this is also not easy because right now I'm just talking about global investment banks, not Indian and other. Boutique investment banks also a very good place to start your career, but these boutiques also have some restriction, but still you can apply. Go to each and every website that you can see the logo for. Go to their website, go to career section, start applying if you're really interested into IB. And boutique investment are something which they are specialized into specific domain. So within IB, let's say they are only doing things like M&A. They're not doing IPO. And someone is only doing IPO. Someone is only doing research. So they don't do all the four function that I've told you at the first line. This is the one. They are specialized into certain products only. So that's the reason why they are called boutique banks. They are smaller banks and they are specialized. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I think probably your slide where you might be interested to know to apply, where all to apply. Foreign players in India. So there are many foreign players who are into India where you can apply as an Indian graduate. JP Morgan Chase is in Mumbai, Goldman Sachs is in Mumbai and Bangalore both. Morgan Stanley is also in Mumbai, but they have reduced their business a lot in Mumbai. Barclays, Credit Suisse in India. All these global banks you can apply as an Indian graduate. Not to a US office, but in India office you can apply as an Indian graduate, Indian BCom, MBA, whatever that you have. So you can go to their website and apply for analyst programs. Then you have some Indian players, right? ICICI Securities, Kotak Mahindra, and all that companies where you can apply, and they do take Indian graduates. Again, obviously, the since the number of vacancies are less, the competition is very high, and if you keep on trying, maybe you get a job into investment bank in future, right? And then you have boutique firms in India, right? Like there are many. I've just put in few things like Aurum Equity Partners, Valpro, Nucleus Partners. They all are in Delhi NCR. These three. This is also in Delhi. BMR Advisor is also in Delhi. So these are the companies that you can probably apply if you want to become an investment banker. These are the KPO and research houses that you have in India. So there are many candidates who may not get a relevant job in directly into investment banks, right? In this and in this slide. So for that, keep on applying, but also try for these companies, because if you get into these companies, the chances of directly hiring and getting a job from these companies to global banks or a boutique banks or a IB companies in India, the chances will be very high. If you cannot crack companies like this and this, you can at least start your career and don't wait for things to happen and waste your timing and then maybe you can try companies like this. Prepare to the best of your abilities, complete your graduation, book cover your CFA curriculum, do financial modeling valuation, investment banking course. We also offer investment banking course at CFI education, just to tell you. And every month we launch a batch online as well as classroom. So classroom is in Jhandewalan, right? So for that you need to be on top of your concepts, and these are the companies that you can target. And this is also an indicative list. We do have a list of many companies. We have tie-ups around 70 to 80 companies who are into finance domain. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So guys, I am almost done. So if you have any questions, please feel free to answer. I would try my best to sort that out.
So, like we have undergraduates and graduates with us. So, could you please tell certain name some trainings that they can go for and learn skills to apply for internships?
So for an internship, basically the minimum requirement that you can is required is basically understanding of great understanding of financial modeling and financial analysis. Either you do it on your own, or maybe you can do it from some institute, like we do offer financial modeling and valuation and IB. So the offering that we have is actually targeting these companies like KPO research houses in India and the investment banking in India, right? So they can do financial modeling, right? They can do investment banking course, and they can either do CFA. CFA is something is a long-term program, so they can do it after they get a job. But this is something that they need to be on top of if they want to apply for either internship or an analyst programs,
Okay, sir.
right? So yeah, that is about it. Any other question, guys?
Anyone from the participants has any questions they can ask, please come forward.
Yeah, the discussion is over, so the forum is open. You can ask as many questions as you want to in terms of this webinar or anything you have in your mind you want to discuss. No question, guys? I think there must be some question. How many of you wants to become and get into an investment bank? Maybe you can put a chat, or you can say yes, raise your hand, whatever suits best.
I request everyone to please come forward. We have a response from Ashmeet.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else? Supriya
Okay.
says yes. Utsav says yes.
Aryaman Bhalla says yes. Okay.
Dipan
Okay.
says yes.
So guys, you have any question, anything you want to ask, because you guys are graduate, though I have tried to give you a path in this slide, how you can start or how you can progress, but still if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
So, like most of the students right now who are being introduced to investment banking or have some really bare knowledge of it, so what would you suggest them to do at this particular moment? Like, what
And
can you give?
mostly are
How
into
should
their
how should we start? Like from where should we start? So
okay, see, as I told you, the first thing, I think you are into this stage, right? You are into this stage of doing your graduation and completing your education. You can start with the necessary training first and apply for internship and analyst program. These are the two things that you need to do for the next 6 to 8 months or for a year.
So to be very honest, I applied for the same, but I feel that like they for like before getting an internship, the companies look for like what value do you have, like what skills do you have for the role you are applying. For example, if I'm applying for a financial analyst, so they look for like what are the skills I'm having. So how to acquire those skills and from where to start to acquire these skills? So
Okay, so yeah, so that's for that same issue. I ask you to complete the necessary training. The first one is financial. Just a second. The first one that you can try is financial modeling or IB. That is something that you need to do. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to crack the interview, to showcase your case. Just as you told, कि they are asking for what value addition you can give to the company, right? They will definitely ask you why you are applying to this position, and what value add you can give to our company. So definitely you have to answer in such a way that you do own necessary trainings, you have done your necessary training, you do have your you are eligible to apply for this program, you do have very good understanding of financial modeling, investment banking, financial analysis, stock market, everything. So basically you need to acquire those skill sets, and then you will be in a better position to apply for either internship or an analyst program,
So
right?
for these particular skills, can we go for a course at Coursera or some other institute, financial modeling course?
Yes, so you can apply to anywhere. See, it is not the certificate that will define whether you will get a job or not. It is completely a skill based industry. You need to acquire those skill sets. You should be comfortable creating financial model, operating model, DC evaluation. You should be comfortable creating presentations. You should be comfortable discussing the financial concepts during an interview. If someone asks you basic question, you should be able to answer and communicate well, right? As long as you are able to do these part, no one is going to check your certificate. Your certificate will get validated by them only by the moment you start explaining things in interview. Let's say you have written that you have done financial modeling from CFI Education or Coursera or whatever place you have done. The technical interviewer will see your CV. Uh, they don't consider that from where you have done it. It is more important that if you are able to explain those things, अगर आपने CV में कोई चीज के लिए claim किया है that you know this, so they will ask you, and if you are able to answer that, it gets validated that you have actually done something in your past. That's the reason why you are able to speak, you are able to explain. That is all is required, right guys?
Okay, sir.
So basically I got a message from Utsav. Uh, I didn't
no,
get
sir.
your.
Actually, I wrote for the other people like financial
Okay.
modeling has to be done. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, as I told you, institute certificates doesn't matter. I think you guys are graduate. You understand. Even if you do certificates from anywhere, it will not get validated till the time you are able to answer question during interviews. Even if you're a graduate or an MBA, plain MBA and graduate, you generally go for an interview, and if you're not able to answer, so they reject you, right? They don't take you. Why? Because they don't care whether you have done your MBA or a BCom or from where. So how will they care if you have done your financial modeling from CFI or Coursera or somewhere else? All they need is कि भैया मुझे बंदा ऐसा चाहिए जो हर चीज का मेरा मैं कन्विंस होना चाहिए. मतलब अगर मैं इंटरव्यू ले रहा हूँ, he should be able to answer. Out of 10 at least he should be able to answer 7 or 8 question at least. Then only the person will think कि, okay, he has actually done a lot of groundwork and he is actually a right person to be on this job. That is all is required.
So basically, our knowledge is what matters the most.
What matters the most, as I've told you, the CFA I've written, I also told you during interview, during this webinar as well, even if you do not sit for a CFA exam, right? But if you have studied the books and you have understood the concept and you are able to perform in an interview, they will be ready to take you as an analyst. And CFA books will not cost you much. You know this. You can get it from anywhere. Maybe soft copies you can get, or printed materials you can get. So it will not cost you much. But the problem lies in that people actually give up very early. They just think that they cannot do it. So in that case, you may need some coach with you, some institute who can walk you through all the important things, right? If you do it on your own, it may take some time, because you will have to understand कि financial modeling में भी क्या चीजें important है, क्या चीजें नहीं important है, किसमें ज्यादा preparation करनी है, किसमें कम preparation करनी है, how should I prepare, how should I answer, how should I prepare my CV, how should I prepare for my mock interviews, right? How should I prepare for a public company model, how should I prepare for private model, how should I prepare for presentation, right? So you have to learn it, and at the end of the day knowledge matters. That's it. Because जो टेक्निकल इंटरव्यूअर बैठा है उसके ऊपर भी प्रेशर है, उसने अगर गलत हायरिंग कर ली तो उसकी जॉब खतरे में आ जाएगी. So try to understand his perspective also. He needs a best guy जिसको वो कोई काम दे, तो अगर वो मॉर्निंग में उस वर्क को दे रहा है तो that person should be able to do it. That person should be able to perform without any error, right? So they need people who can perform. They are not interested in your certification and all. They are interested in your knowledge. अगर नॉलेज अच्छी होगी तो ऐसा भी होता है, ऐसे भी कैंडिडेट्स हैं 10 जगह गए हैं, 8 जगह से जॉब ऑफर लेके बैठे हैं, नाउ दे आर लाइक अंडरस्टैंडिंग यार मैं कहाँ पे जाऊं. तो पहले अपने आप को उस तरीके से आप बनाओ. नेक्स्ट 1 ईयर थिंक कि नेक्स्ट 1 ईयर या नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ मेरा ऐसा होना चाहिए कि मुझे इन टॉपिक्स पे करना है. आई हैव गिवन यू द हिंट. फाइनेंशियल मॉडलिंग पे एक्सपर्ट बनो, आईबी के जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं लाइक पिच बुक वगैरह में एक्सपर्ट बनो. प्रिपेयर फॉर सीएफए, एटलीस्ट रीड एफआरए बुक. सीएफए में एक बुक होती है एफआरए, फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग एंड एनालिसिस. एटलीस्ट गो थ्रू दिस book, and then after once you done this book, you should also cover equity book, right? These 2 books you should do. And obviously if you are going for a level 1 preparation, that will also add good things in your CV, because the person will start expecting यार ये level 1 की preparation कर रहा है, let's ask him some questions, right? And he will start asking, you will start answering, he will get an understanding that this person is serious about his career and he actually knows things.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's how the private company works. They do not look for certificates, they look for knowledge. You will see people, MBA people and graduate people sometimes be on the same profile. In real life you will see an MBA graduate is fetching 6 lakhs and a graduate, normal BCom graduate, is also fetching 6 lakhs. In fact अभी हमारी एक प्लेसमेंट हुई थी ट्रेसविस्टा में last month. You will surprised to know that he was a BCom graduate from some Mumbai institute, and he did our FM program, and he got placed in Tresvista Bangalore with 6.5 lakhs. And also there were some MBA people who are not able to even crack the job. And there was one guy from Christ University Bangalore who just got placed. उसमें तो हमने भी उनको अच्छे से हेल्प नहीं कर पाए थे, right? Because the profile that he was looking for something different, and he got some offer in Gurgaon in Cedo Technologies and all. So we conducted the interview and got the offer also, but he rejected, and then he kept on exploring Bangalore, and he you will surprised to know that a graduate from Christ University got a job in Goldman Sachs last week on his own efforts, and just a normal graduate. So companies only look for knowledge and the confidence or the analytical skills, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सो नेक्स्ट स्टेप मैं ये कहूँगा, आप लोग एफएम करो, आईबी करो, चाहे कहीं से भी करो, सेल्फ स्टडी करो। अगर आपको लगता है कि अगर आपको यू कांट अफोर्ड टू हैव स्पेंड मनी, मच मनी, गो फॉर अ सेल्फ स्टडी। सेल्फ स्टडी में भी बुक्स होती हैं, थोड़ा टाइम ज़्यादा लगेगा। आई वोंट से दैट इट विल बी क्विक, because you need to figure it out things on your own. You will have doubts, then you have to solve it out on your own. No one will be there to help you. That may be a problem. इनफैक्ट अगर आप लोगों का जील, आपका इंथुजियाज्म बहुत अच्छा होता है, यू कैन आस्क मी फॉर अ डाउट सेशन ऑल्सो. I would be more than happy, because but I need people who are like they have a zeal, they have enthusiasm to cover things, and then they come to me and ask. We can have a short doubt session as well for really serious candidates. Right?
So the thing, I think that is the end of the session.
If
Yeah.
someone still has any doubts, so they can definitely question sir. And sir, could you please share an email where they can write you the doubts they might have later on, or they can help, can get, can get a help from you.
Okay, I can share, but on email it may be a bit difficult. Let me tell you, it would be rather interesting to have maybe another webinar, but let me write a mail also. Just a second. You can connect to me on this email ID. This is our institute email ID for doubt purpose and all. So you can come to, you can post your question. But there will be some delay, because if I receive so many emails, then I think you can understand it will take some time. And
Sure.
right. So if there are quite a few, then I will try to answer as much as possible.
Sure, sir.
Right. And in terms of career or anything, not only in terms of your technical understanding, you can drop me a mail on this email ID related to your path as well, like what should I do. Though I have discussed it with you in this webinar multiple times, but still if you have any doubts, probably I can uh, give more details to you on that. Okay guys, so any more question before we end the session?
Guys, anyone if has any question can ask sir right now. Well, I think everyone has been.
Okay, so I
Thank
think
you so much, sir, for your valuable time, and thank you everyone for participating such gracefully in the session. We hope to
yeah,
have you again, sir. It was really a pleasure, and the way you explained everything was really good. It was really informative.
thank you so much. And I also enjoyed a lot interacting with you guys. And if you have anything you want further help in future, maybe once, Shreya, you can reach out and we can discuss
Definitely, sir.
how can we help all the fresh graduates for the better. And if you just, मैं last में ये कहना चाहूँगा कि just follow that thing that I've told you. Go for brush up your skills, right? And that is the only way to get into a relevant profile that you're looking for,
Sure, sir.
right?
Thank you so
Okay
much
guys,
for guiding
Thank you so much,
students.
sir.
thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.